What up? What's up, guys? It's Bishop here in the old stomping grounds, the old bedroom. I'm making this video and it's just forewarning, it's probably going to be a little longer in length. Surprise, surprise, right, with the Bishop Productions. But the reason why I'm making this video is a lot of people have, and I appreciate all these messages and comments that I've been receiving about, wow, looks like you've lost weight. How did you do it? And so I was creating little weight loss tips here and there to try to encourage people or just try to help with little simple things that you can do to lose weight. And so I just wanted to make a video of how I lost 50 pounds in just 3 months, 3.5 months maybe. And so I'm going to share that with you guys. And it's not, and the reason why its length is kind of out of respect for you. I really just want to be honest. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I don't want to hide anything. I think a lot of times people get discouraged easily when they go to watch a YouTube video or perhaps read an internet article about weight loss, and it almost seems like too good to be true. Like, really, is it just that easy? And a lot of times it seems that way because it is. So, but it actually is a lot more difficult than what meets the eye. So I'll just lay it all out there. Like I said, I'm already burned 1.5 minutes. So forgive me, please have patience with this. But if you really want to know how I lost weight, maybe you can include some of these tips in your daily life to lose weight if that's what you're aiming for. So here we go. And I'm not making the video with like a cutoff showing my muscles or anything like that because honestly, I was always intimidated watching videos online, workout videos especially, of people because they're ripped, they're jacked, and it's almost like psychologically I was always getting depressed by watching those videos because I didn't look like that. And so they were, I have Insanity, I had all these programs, and it was like they're jacked, they're ripped, they're doing all the form correctly, and I can't because my body wasn't able to move like that. I can't stretch like that. And so I would waste like 30-45 minutes doing, partial good form on these routines. And the exercises are great. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying I just couldn't do it. I felt a little intimidated. I had to do my own thing. So just for starters, I lost 50 pounds I didn't go to a gym at all. I'm not saying don't go to a gym. I'm just saying I didn't go to a gym at all. I have a good friend, good coworker that had invited me to the gym just within the past, month or so, and maybe I've gone 3-4 times, but that specifically did not attribute to my weight loss at all. Gym membership, nothing like that. So, like I said, if you belong to a gym, kudos to you, keep going, that's great. But I'm saying I got there without belonging to a gym. And this is strictly losing weight, not building muscle, which is a huge difference. So the other thing, just straight out, I didn't do any health products or, Advocare or whatever, all those names out there, supplements that you can buy to lose weight fast or whatever. I didn't do any of those. Never purchased, never spent a dime on drinks or anything like that or food. Didn't get on a dietary plan, meal plan. Again, not saying those things are bad. If you're doing those and they're working, awesome, fantastic. I'm happy for you. But I'm just being honest, I didn't do any of that either. I also didn't give up things cold turkey. I didn't give up drinks. I didn't give up fast food. Cold turkey, they say, because in my past, I would always say, okay, starting this day, no more energy drinks, no more Mountain Dew, whatever, no more fast food. And then like 4 days in, I would slip, and then I would be like, I already ruined it. Maybe next year, right? It was like the January 1st New Year's resolutions, right? You go strong maybe for a while. Then once you fall short, you're like, man, I'll try again, and it just never happens. And so that's kind of a tip and the reality. Reality is I didn't give it all up. The tip is don't set unrealistic expectations. That's something I would always do in the past, is I would always set these expectations that were like, so, when your body is used to consuming caffeine or sugar or whatever, to give it up cold turkey and say, okay, I'm just going to drink water and milk now. A lot of times that's impossible for you to really stick with it without being grouchy and negative and resenting and, I don't even want to do this, because you don't see results right away. in your body. You don't see those weight loss results, and so you get discouraged, and then you say, forget it, I'm going to do what I want, I'm going to YOLO or whatever. So anyway, so those are just a couple things that I didn't do. Didn't go to a gym, didn't do any special product, didn't set unrealistic expectations. Truthfully, the thing that led me to lose weight, besides, I get back from my honeymoon and saw some pictures, and it would be easily to compare me to a walrus at that time. At that time, I weighed 237 pounds. And just kind of, had a gut, big legs, had some leg muscles, just from growing up playing sports and whatnot, but not in shape by any stretch of the imagination. A lot of side picture shots, caught kind of a looping double chin. Really wasn't happy with that, really wasn't comfortable with that. And even though I knew that, even though I saw myself in these pictures, that still really wasn't the motivation that I needed. However, I used different things in my life, and this is a tip and an encouragement, for motivation. So all the people that teased me about, maybe I got the, blunt end of a fat joke or whatever, blunt end of a fat joke or whatever, or maybe people said, gosh, you're never gonna, you have no self-control, you have no discipline, whatever, like. And there's one person in particular, but there were several people that were always like either pounding the gym, oh, you should go to the gym, like, dude, blah, 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 or you should do this, otherwise you're not going to be happy, blah, 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 blah. Their negativity was my motivation to prove them wrong. So I wasn't at first losing weight for myself or to feel better. I was losing weight to say, look, bro, lift up my shirt and be like, look, bro. And I think that's a good thing to have as motivation. Turning their negativity into a positivity from your end. So that would be one of my first tips is to have motivation, some motivation, whether it be other people, whether it be a picture of someone you want to look like or whatever, put that on your phone. Originally, I put a picture of my phone of me with a double chin, and I would look at it and be like, I don't want that anymore, And then here recently, I've switched and put Jake Gyllenhaal's photo from Southpaw when he's like flexing of like, man, like it's possible. And so motivation is one. The second thing is believe in yourself. I know that's cliche. I know that's fairy tale like, but it's very true. Not too many people believed in me when I was like losing weight. They thought I was going to flake out. They thought it might last a month, might last a week or whatever. And they didn't tell me that, but I knew that. And that also added to my motivation was I would be like, oh man, I'm trying to lose weight. And they're like, oh, sure, get a burger. And it was just kind of like, oh, they really don't believe in me. Okay, one cheeseburger, but it was so easy to fall back into that. However, proving them wrong in the sense of they didn't believe in me, but also for myself, I'm thinking, okay, I can do this. It is possible to do this. So and shortly I'll get into what did I do to lose weight if I didn't go to the gym, if I didn't lift weights, what did I do? And again, the gym, those products, lifting weights, all those things are good things, and they may work for you. It's just not how I did it, and I don't think there's a right way, which leads into my third point. A lot of times people will try to preach to you, this is how you lose weight. Here's how you do it. You get on this product, or you go to the gym 4 days a week. This should be your workout routine, or do CrossFit, or don't drink soft drink, whatever. And honestly, you can't conform to someone else's plan because your body is different and unique to you. Now, there are some benefits, and what they're saying may be true to you as well. However, if you try to follow someone else's way of doing things, and maybe it's not the best way for you, you're going to get discouraged. You're going to feel defeated, and you're going to give up. And so, honestly, guys, like, you can't do that. Figure out who you are, have confidence in you, and then go after it. And so there are a couple stories, and I'm going to share briefly. I'm already 10 minutes in. I hope I haven't bored you, but hopefully this has been beneficial stuff. One example, I went to a state park, and there was a waterfall. I was there with a bunch of guys, a bunch of girls, and I didn't know but maybe one or two people there. And the guys, they went to go jump in the waterfall, and they all took their shirts off and they were jacked. I mean, just absolutely ripped. And I was like, dang. Like, I mean, I'm just telling you straight up, like, they were looking good. And I was the only guy that kept my shirt on when I went in the waterfall and jumped. I was the only guy that kept the shirt on. I was embarrassed. I mean, here we are, there's girls around or whatever, and these guys have 6-packs, 8-packs. Their 8-packs have a 4-pack. And I'm sitting there like, don't have any of that. I'm envious here. Let's keep the black tee on. And I was wearing black t-shirts because apparently they make you look skinnier or whatever. So anyway, that was one motivating story. As I said, okay, next time I come here, I don't want to be that guy that keeps his shirt on. Another situation happened as I was working in video production. Had the old seatbelt on in a van. I was driving with this guy, and this guy was like, hey man, put your seatbelt on. And I was like, yo, it is, you know. And what had happened is my gut was over the seatbelt, so much so that he just briefly looked over and didn't see the seatbelt. So that's kind of fun. But that was motivating for me. That was motivation for me. And so those two stories, as well as other stories, you know, like I said, people joking or whatever, or people's comments here and there, or looking at other people, when, you know, you have to have some motivation. If you're not passionate about doing anything, truthfully, I don't believe you'll be as successful as you could be with passion. So what did I do? I just ran a lot. I mean, 11 and a half in, I could have just told you that at the beginning. I ran a lot. I would run around my neighborhood 1 mile one night, 2 miles the next night, 3 miles the next night, go back down to 1 mile. About 5 or 6 nights a week, I was running. I would just run 2 miles. Okay, this week I'm going to run 2 miles every night. I did it. Did I give up my bad habits of eating and drinking? No. What did I do? I cut back a little bit on soft drinks. I switched from regular Mountain Dew to Diet Dew. I switched from regular Monster Energy to absolutely zero Monster Energy. I still ate Taco Bell a lot, like once a week. And so I just lost the weight. I mean, it was the best. And I know my body's different, but literally didn't go to the gym, didn't lift weights, didn't do any DVDs, Insanity, didn't do any of that. Even though I had it, I didn't access any of that. Instead, I did my own thing. And what happened is when UK lost to Wisconsin in the Final Four, I was, you know, angry about that. I just wanted to cool off some steam. So I go home. This is what, late March, early April. And I'm not a runner. I had never ran before. I wish someone would have told me this sooner. That's partially why I'm making this video, is if you start running, even though it's not the best thing for your knees, you can start cycling, whatever, skipping, jumping rope, whatever. If you're consistent with something, you will see results in time. A lot of people get discouraged and disappointed because all 4 weeks have gone by and I've only lost 5 pounds. Well, who cares? Don't worry about the scale. Maybe not get on the scale for a couple more weeks, then get back on it, and now you're down 10. Okay, all of a sudden you're down 20. So I'm telling you guys, it's possible. It was possible. And so UK loses Wisconsin. I go home and I just run around my neighborhood. I go 4.5 miles, and I never ran like that ever. And I thought, man, like that felt good. And so I was using running and exercise as a release of like anger and emotions and alone time. And so I want to encourage you guys, don't just go through the motions of working out. Work out with a passion, but also work out some emotions with it. Use it as a positive release of maybe some anger or whatever, or stress. Just get that stress off by working out. And so that helped me a lot. So not only was I running to lose weight or whatever and build leg muscle, I was running because, you know, maybe work was a rough day or whatever. There's some stuff in my personal life. So I was just running to just think about things, and I would just go. I'd just go 2 miles. Sometimes I would say, okay, I'll go 2 miles. I went 4. Sometimes I'd say I go 4 miles. I only went 1. Because you don't want to destroy your body. And so to add on that, a lot of times I would run Monday, Tuesday nights, maybe 2 miles each night, take off Wednesday. Thursday, maybe 3 miles. Friday, 1 mile. And if I could run on the weekend, great. If not, no big deal. That was another thing I want to add, is don't get discouraged if you miss a day, or if you eat a bad meal or anything like that. Don't throw in the towel. It's so easy to throw in the towel early because maybe you haven't seen results. Maybe nobody else has complimented you. And so you're like, okay, is this even working? It takes time. You're not going to get 6-pack, abs in 8 minutes doing, just doing that every single day. Maybe you will. I mean, I tried those things, and after a couple days I get discouraged because sure, I felt little pain or soreness in my abs section, but it wasn't like I was like ripped and then I was like, okay, that didn't work. Forget that. But it's consistency, it's passion, it's believing in yourself, it's having that motivation, and it's doing very simple things. Like I said in those other weight loss videos, I parked the furthest spot away from my work, parked the furthest spot away and walk into the building. When I would use the restroom or get water or whatever, I would go downstairs. We have two, one on the main floor and one on the bottom floor. I'd take the extra flight of steps every single day. Occasionally throughout the week, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, I would wear 5-pound ankle weights on my ankles and just put my dress socks over them, and I would wear them Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 5 pounds each leg. Some say that's like the worst thing to do for your knees. I have them on right now. I'm telling you, I did it, I still do it, and it makes me feel great. My legs feel tired at the end of the day, but I definitely feel like, because my core is using my feet to get up some of those steps sometimes, just simple, practical things. I drink water mainly only at work. So water fountain, drink a lot of water throughout the day. Water at night. Sure, I still love my Monster Energy, and sure, I'll still drink it occasionally, even though, I'm giving up energy drinks and soft drinks currently. I'm just saying, don't think, oh, okay, I'm just going to drink water and go cold turkey, and this is going to work out for me if you're so used to drinking those type of drinks. Maybe just cut back how many you drink at first, then maybe switch to diet. Okay, now all of a sudden you switch to a 0-calorie soda. Why don't we go with carbonated water? Because that's what I did. Carbonated water. I would buy carbonated lemon lime. Tastes exactly like Sprite. Carbonated grape. Tastes exactly like Welch's grape. So finding replacements. Trying to be cost effective. On my lunch break, what did I do? Did I just sit at a desk and eat? No. I was outside walking a mile. Walking 2 miles. Oh, occasionally I would drive to a friend's house that was nearby so I could run 2 miles, shower, and get back to work in an hour. Just little things like that. But walking, especially, if you can walk outside, you walk 2 miles in 40 minutes. If you have an hour lunch break, great. If you only have a 30-minute lunch break, you can walk a mile. But it's doing it every single day, consistently, without any interruptions. But like I said, would I still eat fried food? I would. Imagine what I would look like if I gave all that up and only ate great and only drank great. That would be crazy. I'd probably be jacked. Here's the thing though. I'd probably be miserable, but I would be jacked. Because I have enjoyed this the whole time. I haven't felt miserable. I haven't felt sluggish. I haven't felt limited at all. I've loved eating what I want, drinking what I want, letting other people say, this is how you need to lose weight, and doing it myself, and then now receiving compliments makes me feel like, hi haters, you know what I mean? It's a good feeling. It's a great feeling to feel that, and I want everybody out there to feel that. If you've never felt that before, if you've always struggled with weight or whatever, and you're sitting there and you're like, look, I hear what you're saying, dude, and that's great it worked out for you, but I'm telling you it's not going to work out for me. I just want to encourage you and challenge you to do those simple steps. Do those very simple things that I told you to do, and just try each night. Maybe just go after a mile each night. Maybe you can't run a mile yet. Walk a mile. Maybe you can't walk a mile. Walk half a mile. Start somewhere. Have a starting point. Don't get discouraged if you can't do those video routines where these guys are doing the jumping jacks and the ski abs or whatever and the push-ups, and you're like, I can't do this. This is crazy. Because let me tell you something, guys. I was almost intimidated to kind of go in the gym because, a lot of people there are in shape and I wasn't. So I go in there and I'm just kind of like, oh man, like this isn't fun because I feel like they're looking at me. So do it yourself. I ran at night so no one would see me. I'd run at night. I'd put my music in, my CHH Christian hip hop music, Lecrae, Andy Mineo, K-Drama, all those guys, bump it in my headphones. I would go and it felt great. And like I said, even after that first night that I ran 4.5 miles after UK lost to Wisconsin, I toned it back. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go a mile tonight. Got the Nike Plus app in my phone, so I would track it. And so then it was great seeing like now I'm over 200 miles. Like that, for me, that's crazy. I would have never ran. I never liked running, never did cross country. I didn't really enjoy running. But you get into it, all of a sudden you fall into it, you're passionate about it. Couple more points. Don't want to idolize working out. You don't want to make that your God. You don't want to prioritize that above everything else. Nobody likes that guy. But besides that point, you just want to be careful. You want to make sure that it's a healthy life balance. Because I've seen and I know where in some cases where gym or fitness or health or whatever can honestly take over somebody's life and completely like wreck their life, because that's all they care about. That's all they do. If they eat something bad, all of a sudden they take off 3 miles to burn it off. Don't let it consume you. But there's also a Bible verse that says about a temptress, don't even go to her doorstep. Like, don't even go to her doorstep, because, you know, that if you get that close, it's so easy to go through that door. Don't even get that close. So what I had to do a lot of times is, granted, I still didn't eat the healthiest. If I knew there was donuts in the break room, I wouldn't even go near that door. Because it's so easy to grab a donut and be like, well, it's just one, or I'll cut it in half, or, well, I didn't eat the bad stuff yesterday. It's so easy to make excuses, guys. I justify your actions. I would do it all the time. I'll cut this donut in half, and then I would go back in the break room. Well, I don't want it to go to waste. You know what I mean? So don't even go near the door. If you struggle with soft drinks or whatever, when you go to the gas station, oh, you always have to buy 2 for $2.50. Don't go in. Pay at the pump and avoid walking in that space. If you think, okay, I'm going to consume about 380 calories here, I'm just going to stay away. So if you're burning more calories than you're consuming, I didn't do a calorie tracker. I just kind of was like, I feel like I've ate this much and I've ran these miles, whatever. Because you're actively walking and stepping throughout the day. Some people get a pedometer. I didn't have one, but it might be great. They say take 10,000 steps a day. Feel free to get one. But if you're burning more calories than you're consuming, you got to remember, a lot of those drinks have a lot of calories in them. You will lose weight. You may not see it right away, and that might discourage you and disappoint you. And it did me, because I felt like I've been running for a month every single night, and I've only lost 9 pounds. That's discouraging, because it wasn't a noticeable 9 pounds. I still had the double chin, or my pants were still that 38. Another motivating thing is I got sized for a wedding, and I was a 40. Waist 40. Highest I've ever been. I told the guy I was a 38. He goes, let me check you out. He's like, you're a strong 40. I said, what do you mean a strong 40? I mean, you never want to hear a strong 40. Never want to hear that when you're thinking you're a 38, maybe a 36. But again, how did I use that negativity? He wasn't trying to be negative and bash me. He was just letting me know, when you're a strong 40, you're wrong. But what did I do with that information? I didn't just sit on that information and say, I'm a strong 40 now, make a bunch of jokes about it, laugh around people, be the brunt of jokes. Next thing I know, I'm taking that, I will not be a 40 anymore. My pants will not be, these will be so loose on me, I'm going to have to give them away. And I've had to give a lot of clothes away. And then this very last point, I know we're 25 minutes in, or 23, forgive me. The very last point, it's here. It's all mentality. It really is, guys. I know you guys might be like, dude, you're crazy. Listen, guys. Before I even lost the weight, I gave away all my extra large double XL shirts. So I had double XL, I had extra large, I had some baggy pants and shorts. I gave those away. Just you give them to Goodwill, St. Vincent de Paul, all the churches take a lot of clothes to give to homeless. Give them all away. It helps with your confidence not having that baggy stuff on. It really does. I know that sounds crazy. You wear tight clothing, you're going to want to fit in that tight clothing. You're buying larges, you're spending money on larges, you want your money's worth. So you buy clothing that fits a little tighter on you, you're going to start noticing a difference, because all of a sudden you're like, okay, I want to fit comfortably in this. I want to be a large. I'm not an XL anymore. Get rid of that stuff. You're swimming in those shirts or whatever. It almost makes you feel like you're skinny, even though you're sitting in a double XL shirt. You're like, oh, what ain't tight on me? I'm all right. But all of a sudden you can't even fit into a large, and an XL was super tight on you. That's when you start reevaluating things. So I got some shirts. I got some large shirts, and I couldn't fit into them. Just too tight, too snug, really cuffed up all around. And I thought, I want to fit in these shirts. I bought these shirts. I'm going to fit in these shirts. It's mental. It's believing in yourself, not letting other people discourage you, taking their negativity and turning it into positivity, having motivation, doing simple steps, Running, if that's what works for you, that's what worked for me. But not conforming to someone else's way of doing things, because that might not be your way. And you're going to get discouraged and want to fail and give up. But you can't give up. You got to keep pressing on. You got to keep moving forward. You got to believe in yourself. You believe in yourself. You take simple steps, little bit at a time. Don't say in a month, I'm going to weigh this, blah, 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 because you probably won't. Give it some time. Give it 3 months. Give it 5 months. Say by Christmas. Say by January. Say by next summer. When I go to the beach, I want it. That's fine. Give yourself that time. Don't set unrealistic expectations on yourself. Because when you do, they're unrealistic. You're going to fail. You're going to feel bad. I'm telling you guys. It's happened to me for years and years and years. Every January 1st, no more soft drinks. January 12th, there I am sipping on a Dew. I love you guys. I hope this was encouragement to you. Feel good about yourself. You don't have to feel bad about yourself. You can be proactive in doing things. I know everyone's situation's different, so I want to be cautious in saying a statement like that because I don't know your background and you don't know mine. But this was a 30-minute video of me just trying to be as honest and vulnerable as I can with you guys. I went from 237 to 187 and then sometimes flirting with 180, 177, but I don't want to be that unrealistic. We'll just say 185 right now. Didn't do anything crazy. Didn't spend a lot of money. Running, walking is free. That's great. If you don't have a space to do it, you're comfortable, drive to a park and do it. Yeah. It's possible, guys. Thank you for all the compliments I've received. Thank you for all those questions I've received about the weight loss stuff. I hope this was encouragement to you guys. Love you. Thank you.